Of course, we are a couple of days away from the all important gubernatorial elections, and it's over a month since after the presidential elections, and matters are still arising, things are still happening. Candidates are still going around looking for one form of support to another. No more for votes, but this time, of course, in the courts. Of course, these are the issues we are still looking at here on Nigeria Decides on Coastal Television. Today, we are coming down to Enugu State, and we are looking at the role of the youth in modern day politics, especially in the next government coming in Enugu State. I'm Wafu Joshua, and I'm joined on the program today with Mr.
Sebastian Okafor.
And of course with Mr.
Chidera Sitadima Koye.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Looking at the situation of the politics in the states, I'll go with you, Mr. Sebastian. How are you?
I think you need to start from Chidera.
No, I want to go with you.
Start from Chidera.
I want to go with you.
You want to go
I want to go with you.
Okay, without pleasure. But note, one thing that I will not lie.
No, we don't want to tell a lie though. Yeah. So how are you looking at with the youth in the kind of youth we have in Enugu State? They have seem to be have been known with politics of scoping and not actually trying to tell the truth to power. And I saw a post on media that they are going to tackle any youths who would scope Mr. Peter Mba to failure or something. How are you looking at all these things? Are the youths ready for governance and productive system?
Enugu youths.
Or are they just looking for their own personal pockets?
Enugu youths are ready for the next. In fact, Enugu is one of, you cannot count 3 states with industrious youth in Nigeria without counting Enugu State. If you did not put Enugu State, you have not started.
But
see, let me tell you,
like
that thing is just all those things. They are just eclectic brew of.
Is the headquarter of visa scam or something.
I'm telling you that it is not true.
Okay.
Understand? When people eclectically brew rhetorics, you don't need to listen to them or believe it. As at least I'm knowledgeable enough to understand the type of youth that we have, because based on the media work that I'm doing, based on my work as a lecturer, and equally based on my previous work into when I was into activism, where I worked with a lot of NGOs, I can tell you that this is what it is and this is what it is not. Now in Enugu State, our youth, we have positioned ourselves in such a way that any government that wants to work with us will work with us. We have a lot of people who are industrious. Is it in the aspect of business, in the aspect of agriculture, in the aspect of human capital development, in the aspect of SME, every other sector of government, we have a lot of youth. So depending on what the leadership or the incoming leadership wants. So if you want people that are valueless, people who just, if you want, maybe you want to play politics, you have youth that used to play politics. But if you want a better administration, in fact, we have more than qualified youth. In fact, let's take census from this office now. At least we are up to 6 youth here in this place. Are we not industrious? We are, from different local government areas. And we also have youths who came to Enugu, who were born and bred in Enugu. They are equally part of Enugu youth. So we are ready. When I mean ready, more than ever, if given the opportunity. So the issue of scope is just rhetorics. They are unfounded. You cannot substantiate it. So even in Tinubu's forthcoming Tinubu's administration, I mentioned Tinubu and his administration. Tinubu is the next president, whether you like it or not. Or leave all those issues. It happened during Buhari. He has won, is that he has won. So he is the next president. Like, personally, as an APC stalwart, I have positioned myself. In fact, I started submitting my CV because I told them that I have interest in repositioning and restructuring NBC. And understand, NBC that regulates the activities of broadcasters. I know I have the capacity as a young person with the experience. So I gradually reposition those in NPC are doing so. So someone that wants to reposition himself into scope, or what do you call it? In fact, this is the first time that I'm hearing that word. So it is only you that know what you mean by scope.
Scope, okay. Mr. Osipitas, how are you looking at the position with Enugu youth in the state? Do you think, from your own view, would you say they are prepared enough to work with the kind of manifesto Mr. Peter Mba is putting forward? You know, he said he's going in for serious infrastructural developments, economic rejuvenation and everything. How are you looking at the kind of youth we have been breeding in Enugu State? Because I must confess, even though he's saying he doesn't know what I mean by scope, but the reality is the kind of politics the youth of Enugu State are assumed to have been playing is what we can coin in a word and call it scope, which I think you might be aware of. So how are you looking at these same youths? How do you think they are going to play an important role, a positive role in the coming government?
I think, first of all, assumption is the lowest point of knowledge. And if you look at it, a man looks at an object from his perspective. So I'm going to classify the youth of Enugu from my perspective and from my personality. So having that knowledge that there are acclaimed youths, United Nations actually had defined the youth as people between the ages of 15 and 35. And then there are people who still claim at 55 in Enugu to actually be youths and they are youth leaders. Nevertheless, it does not, I want to concur with my brother who actually puts us on a seat to actually know that in Enugu we have credible, we have intelligent, we have youths who can stand out.
Very, very competent.
In the four C's of competence, capability, compassion, and capacity. So just to mention but a few, it is important that we begin to change our mindset because a revolution has come, and that revolution is bent on a productive driven government. Whether you are in APC, you're in PDP, you're in Labour Party, it is hard time you understand that the trajectory has changed. So wherever you are, you have to sieve out the best. You have to look at, bringing to the table what is going to directly affect the grassroots positively and to have a different trajectory. So I'm of that opinion that we have capable people who can actually drive the economy, drive the social political environment, and give us a credible economic growth. That's basic.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Before the senatorial elections, senatorial House of Reps elections, the gubernatorial candidates in Enugu State, especially that of PDP, who as of today is the governor-elect of the state, he wasn't really going around campaigning, he wasn't really going around lobbying the youths, markets, the streets, and the villages that much after the thank you visit. But after the elections, where senators tend to lose, even the sitting governor didn't really win his elections, and a lot of seats were lost by the PDP, we saw him go into serious campaign, even bringing back parties and everything. Even I saw one video when in the club, we saw the banner of Mr. Peter Mbah inside the clubhouse, trying to reach out to the youth and do everything, which he wasn't doing like a week before then. So with this kind of politics, I think some people are trying to ask the question that this person is reaching out to us because he thinks he now needs us. That after the primaries, after the thank you visit, he wasn't reaching out to the youth and the people of Enugu State. But after this time, he has now reached. Now that he has won, which implies he doesn't really need the youths. He doesn't really need them because he might need them, but he doesn't really need them. He can sideline the youths. How sure are we that we have youths that are capable enough? Because in the states and in governments, there are people who can personally lobby themselves into power, into position of influence. How sure are we that we have youths that have capacity enough, that are able and capable enough to show that they are worthy of getting things, not really being appointed, not really being favored to get them, people that are deserving of it? How sure are we have this kind of youths? In case the governor is the kind of person that won't want to bring youth, unless he sees that he needs these people in certain positions.
Why would he see the need to include youth? Politics is all about.
Let me tell you. Why you don't see the need?
Let me tell you. All those, like Chidera said, I told you one thing that I will not do here is to lie. Politics has two elements: inclusion and exclusion. Is it that you are included or you are excluded? So you saying that the governor-elect, that he did not carry young people along.
No,
Based
this
on-
was the reality. There was a campaign
no,
committee,
let me
but
tell
this committee
you.
wasn't really doing
It
campaigns.
says who?
No, the
You have
campaign,
to wait now.
The campaign was
Do
mainly
not, let
after the
me,
senatorial
let me
elections.
direct you. Let me redirect you. Not even that. Let me redirect you. I'm a young person. I was part of the campaign. He's a young person.
Are you in
I was-
APC or
eh?
the PDP?
Let me tell you.
Because we are talking about the
Yeah.
PDP campaign.
Yes, I keep on
So
saying
how
it.
would you be in the
I told you that
PDP?
APC, as far as I'm concerned, did not have gubernatorial candidates.
But you are in the party.
Yes, APC did not
So
have.
you worked against
But
the
why
party.
wouldn't I work for the president, the right person? If you produce so because I'm in APC, when they provide an M-Pesa, I should support an M-Pesa, or when they provide a snake, I should support a snake, or
But
when
a
they
lot of
provide
Nigerians were against
let me
the
tell
candidacy
you,
of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for
2023,
example, and a lot of Nigerians seem, especially down south where you belong, were seemingly
I'm not
against
finished
candidates.
the question that you asked me. You're now asking me another one.
Okay.
Let me finish. You see, when they mentioned Peter Tinubu as president-elect, you looked at me somehow when I mentioned it. But when we mentioned Peter Mbas as governor-elect, you kept calm. Understand? As if to say the emergence of the both candidates didn't have XYZ. Is that what you're saying? But the issue is that Peter Mbas that I know, let me tell you, Peter Mbas, if you don't know, let me tell the world what, you know, when I look at some people, when they speak from the angle of ignorance, I just keep quiet. Taciturnity is what I normally apply. If you look at his chief of staff, personal EA, if you look at his PAs, in fact, his chief of staff, his personal EA, executive assistant, is a renowned lawyer with PhD in law and has a law firm. His name is Barrister Osinachi Najeze. That guy's acumen is beyond this watch. That guy's reasoning is a top notch. This guy has a law firm in Australia where he employed over 56 foreigners who are working for him. I've seen over 56 foreigners who are working for him. Whenever you engage this guy, you know that his brain is out of this world. He has another guy by name Fred. These guys are less than 36 without brain. Now, when you look at the kitchen cabinet, people that decides, that analyzes, evaluates, and approve what outside there is, all the ideas coming from outside, they are all young people with vision on a mission to make sure that we have a better Enugu State. So when you talk about, first of all, you need to look, okay, let's look at Pinnacle. Almost all the managers of, go and check it, it's verifiable. Go and check it. All the manager of Pinnacle in New Haven and the other branches, they are all young people telling you that innovation is youth driven. Innovation is youth driven. So the incoming government, except if that young person did not have, Peter Mbas that I know, because I've had small engagement with him, I know that he's not interested in whether you are from his place or not. Whether you are from Cameroon, can you do it? Once you can do it, give it to him. That is.
He's more interested in competence.
Yes, in competence, your ability to deliver. So, and I know we'll have a lot in tech. So, if he gives me a job as a media assistant, you think I won't do it? And media assistant, I have my own area of specialization, which is Igbo broadcasting. Am I not young? I will do it. I will deliver. Likewise, you in your own job and Chidera in his own. So, in fact, let me tell you, by the time he will start giving appointments, you will be marveled. You will be marveled that with the quality of young persons. Let me tell you, what Ugwuanyi did is that he made, in fact, if you check the statistics, Enugu currently is the state that has a lot of youth who are more interested in politics. Ugwuanyi gave the youth a sense of belonging. In as much as most of them or some of them misused such opportunity, they took it for granted. And how did they do it? Because when you are given an assignment to do, instead of you to deliver that assignment, you are so much interested in your pocket or to go and answer this and that. Whenever you send you on an errand to go and tell the governor this, if you get there, you discuss something that is just for you. Selfishness. On the side of, so there are few. These people that are doing this thing, they are not up to 15.
But you know when you use when potato starts spoiling.
Let me tell you, these people they are not in fact they are not more than 15. They are not Enugu youth. When you check, when the Enugu youth we don't behave that way. That is why I say they are not Enugu youth.
So therefore,
where are you from? You are from Enugu. Do you behave that way? Do you behave in that way? They are not Enugu youth.
So, so you're trying to tell us that when a group of young people, maybe less than 2.5% of the Enugu youth who represent our opinion before the executive power misbehave, don't you think we have all misbehaved?
That's the issue because it is believed that
Let me
you sent
tell
the
you,
best
who
to
sent you?
represent you.
With-
No, it's the belief.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
When the
something that you
senator
don't
elect
know.
from Enugu North Senatorial
Let me-
made a statement that seems to have incited violence, it was taken serious because he is now a man in power. You understand? So when the youths that we believe in, the youths that are representing the people,
Do we have youth leaders in Enugu?
of course we have there's NYSC and a lot of other
And let me
youth
tell you
organizations
something.
in
Let me
this
tell you
place.
something that you don't know.
Okay.
You know, I said it in the first place that one thing that I will not do is to lie. I will not lie, and God knows that. At least for the past 6 years now, I have been trying to keep up to that. Let me tell you something. Who is a youth? Who is a youth leader? Can you be a leader without followers? All these people are just like as we are now. We can organize ourselves because we have the financial ability and form a group and we'll start answering youth leaders. Do you have followers? They are not youth leaders. Leading who? If I ask you, can any of them give you instruction and you abide by it? Do you even know their history? All these people that are parading as youth leaders, you self, most Nigerians don't even people from their village do not even know their nativity or and every other detail. They are not youth leaders. If you want to know youth leaders, you go down to town union where they have youth presidents that when they give an instruction. In fact, let me give you an instance. On Saturday, I went to Ubaka, to be precise, for a traditional marriage. Something happened. The groom could, I think he did not fulfill some certain part. The youth came and the president said everything stopped. Before we were busy, I was the anchor, the MC of the event. I said, now let's continue. Before I could know what was happening, the youth assembled within 2 minutes. And they wanted to spoil things. Immediately the youth leader said, it's okay. All of them disappeared. That is leadership. When you have followers. Understand? And why will people believe in them? Because of the way they emerged. Because of the fact that they live a sacrificial life. It's all about the community and not them. So all these people that are not up, they are not even up to 12. So they are not a new youth. In fact, if you run a DNA now, you might even discover that you need to question either their mom or their dad. Because they don't behave like the new people.
Mr. Bukastro, I won't stand by you.
I don't. I'm saying my own opinion.
Your opinion.
So why are you standing up?
Yes. Being eligible Enugu Youth Leader in my own as the organizing secretary of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, it's important to note that eligible election was conducted and then the leaders of NYCN were actually
Are these leaders partisan?
I am non-partisan. I can speak for myself. I am non-partisan. When it comes
members
to
of your executive, are they partisan?
they are non-partisan.
The whole executives. Wow.
Yeah, no, I can't actually say our executive are
I mean,
non-partisan. It's important to
throughout the election period, you guys didn't do any form of endorsement. You guys didn't do campaign for any party.
National Youth Council of Nigeria did not do an endorsement program for.
And you guys have nothing to do with the government. You are just for the people.
We are for the people, and by the people, and we stand for them.
When
It's
you
important.
talk about youth leaders,
Yes.
it's not about NYCN. We have Nkanu Youth Council. We have issues the Youth Assembly. We have issues the Youth Parliament. We have Enugu West Regional Assembly.
But I think the problem we have in Enugu is that we don't want to go down to the work structure of what the youth organization has always been like, as recognized by the Constitution of Nigeria. There is a statutory youth body recognized by the Constitution, National Youth Council of Nigeria. Some of these youth organizations are actually meant to organize themselves under the platform of NYCN, working with the Ministry of Youth and Sports in Enugu. But because of either political alliance or what the government of the day wants, because if the government of the day, as at today, does not want a destructured youth organization, in fact, I am of the opinion that they are using it to bias our opinions. when you have a case where people come from strata of different organizations and tend to, you know, groom and grow and seem to groom and grow the opinion of a large population, it's because the government of the day allowed it. I think the incoming government should follow a structure. The structure of having a Ministry of Youth and Sports that will work in coalition with the National Youth Council of Nigeria and then put things right.
Helped the governor emerge. Are you saying he should sideline them?
Sideline them. Right? That's where we talk about competence. It's not about what you did during the election.
They are competent enough to help you in elections. That means they are competent enough.
Partisan politics is different from policy making,
and politics is different from governance.
Is different from governance. The same word was what.
How do we get people that will govern very well?
Because
you can't be given the chance to govern if you can't play politics.
And well, the first of all is what you must. First of all is the answer to your question is what do you do for a living? What is your track record in that aspect of what you do for a living? Take for instance, if I, Sebastian, if you give me an extra job, I will not do it. If you put me in an area where I know I cannot perform, I will not. You understand the point? So before giving appointments, you have to put somebody in a place. Let me give you an instance. In Enugu currently, we have why the youth body or youth will behave the way people think that. In fact, let me tell you, Anambra youth and Imo youth, they are even the worst. Leave this issue that we drag ourselves on the social media. Anambra, Ebonyi, and Imo, Enugu is one of, no matter how you see it, Enugu is one of the best. But however, let me tell you the problem. We don't have a commissioner, a youthful commissioner for youth and sports.
But our commissioner for youth and sports is a very young person.
You are in fact. Let stop this.
I always see this.
You define who is a young person according to your definition based on UN.
Based on UN, someone between the ages of 15 and 35.
And then I have a 52-year-old, more than 52-year-old person as a commissioner. You want me to believe?
But he has been working very closely
and
with youth. I always see pictures of him with the same youth leaders and youth organizations.
Yes, he has been working closely
attending their programs and
he has done his best, but his best is not enough. In fact, he has done his best and he is seriously unserious.
I think you can't tell me my commissioner is seriously unserious.
I mean, like I said, you
don't. My commissioner who is standing with us is not seriously unserious.
Okay.
I believe it is actually the leverage given to him as the commissioner.
It's not true.
It's
one day if you want to walk, you walk. Once your boss sees that, but you know, in appointments, you have appointment for politics, you have appointment for governance. Let me tell you, in every administration, if I give you an appointment as the commissioner for finance based on politics, because whoever that emerges as a governor has a team that made him a governor. Nobody makes himself or herself a governor. I can use somebody, I can create an SPA. You know how you know an incompetent person. In fact, if you want to know incompetent commissioners currently in Enugu, they have SPAs.
See, Mr. Bukash, I will not stand by you in that. I believe that.
I did not say you should stand by me.
You need
to stand by me.
I don't need to stand by you, but I will not stand by you in that. I believe that it is actually the level of liberty given to the commissioner.
He did not perform. He has not shown any modicum of credibility. That is why maybe he's not entrusted. Let me tell you, our
commissioner
is somebody that believes in competence. Once you are given an assignment and you are not competent, see, let me give you an instance. Enugu State Fire Service. If he had left that office under that commissioner, that office wouldn't have been what it is today. Enugu State Scholarship Board. Well, now let me give you an example of a board or agency that are in comatose. Enugu State Agency for Control of AIDS, NSACA.
Which used to be very active in the days of Sullivan.
So now, who is the Enugu State Commissioner for Health? He's a young person. Very, very seriously unserious. So it's not all about that you are given an appointment. It's all about your ability to deliver. Once your boss sees that you can do it, you can. But however,
Mr. Castro,
we are talking about the incoming government.
Okay, the incoming government. Please, let's focus on the incoming government. Yes.
The incoming government.
Because the truth is that the Igbo man says that it is not the man who is coming back from the market that you give your list.
Yes.
To actually get things for you. It is
going.
the one that is going.
Let me
so
tell you, I supported Peter Mba, even, and I made it open that even as an APC stalwart, I will not support. We don't have a Guba candidate.
You have a Guba candidate.
I said as far as I'm concerned.
Your personal opinion.
Yes, it's my personal opinion. I did not say. I said
but he
as
came
far.
fourth in the elections.
He came
a
distant fourth.
No, 4 out of 17 is a
No, he's a distant fourth. Congratulations, don't give him an award. Don't give him an award. We have rented an apartment in the court where 5-room apartment in the court where he can go and file his suit. Normally, I saw them offloading bags of court cases. I said, wow, wonderful. Let me see how you come on. But the issue is that the incoming government, I believe, knows, Peter Mba knows what he wants to achieve.
Okay, I'll take it from you that Peter Mba knows what he wants to achieve. We'll go on a very quick break, and when we come back, there seems to be a fracas between Mr. Peter Mba and, of course, Senator Chimaroke Nnamani. And these are the issues we are going to look at after this very short break. Stay with us as we go on this break.
People with its ethnic, religious, and cultural diversity. A single event generates divergent views and opinions. Some moderate, others extreme. With expectations from the people and responsibilities of the government, there is always an outpour of emotions, views, and analysis from all angles. On this space, your space, we bring these views together to harmonize them in such a way that you can understand the societal issues on ground. So join us on your space every Tuesday.
Yeah, welcome back. We are still on Nigeria Decides on Close Television. And before the break, we said we are going to look at, of course, the issue between Senator Chimaroke Nnamani and Mr. Peter Mba, the governor-elect of Enugu State. Over the weekend, Senator Chimaroke Nnamani seemed to have went to his Twitter handle, commenting and lamenting, shooting shots to various angles, even to the sitting governor of the state. And in a remarkable statement, he said that brothers rigged themselves and rigged other brothers. Now, these are the issues we want to look at. I'll start with you, Mr. Sebastian. What is happening? What do you think is happening? Because there is a slim chances for Mr. Peter Mba to emerge with a very wide margin in votes from Enugu its senatorial zone, while Mr. Chimaroke Nnamani is losing. In an election that Chimaroke Nnamani is saying that was rigged, because he made use of the word rigged in that statement.
Let me tell you something. I'm not supposed to comment on this issue because it's a party affair. It's a Peter Mba and the Chimaroke. I doubt whether they are calling.
He said he didn't expect betrayal.
Let me tell you. Chimaroke did not define rigging. Rigging has more than 30 definitions. And one of them is positive somehow in dictionary. So until he defines what he means by rigging,
from what he said in that statement,
it's not from what he said. He did not.
The whole sentence is showing betrayal.
He did not define rigging. So as far as I'm concerned, until he defines what he means by rigging, I will talk on that.
So what do you have to say about this?
Personally, I think the relationship between the two political juggernauts and technocrats is something that people like us should not venture into. Basically, if there are differences to,
you said you are a part of the Youth Council of Nigeria, right?
Yes.
And you are an executive.
Yes.
And you are non-partisan. And politics of the country, it affects the youth that are under your constituency. So you can't tell me you are not really, you can't go into that.
Why I can't go into it is a partisan case. It's a case of
governance and
it is not still governance. It is the politics around
the governance. Because one way or the other, it affects the mindsets of those in power. People that feel betrayed might get into power and would want to fight the tribe or the local government or the community of those that betrayed them. They might say that for the next 8 years or 4 years, that people from this zone would not benefit anything. they need this road, I want to construct this road. But if I construct this road, this guy that betrayed me will use the road. So I won't give it to them. So as a leader of the youth, and governance in the state affects the youths who are under your constituency, how are you looking at this issue between Senator Chimaroke Nnamani and Mr. Peter Mbah?
I want to insist that it is a partisan relationship, that, or an intra-party conflict between the candidates of the PDP in the senatorial zone and then the governor-elect. And it's actually a case that would come under resolution between them.
In-house.
It is an in-house resolution.
It's really in-house when he's going on
In
Twitter.
the-
Twitter is an international space. It's not even a Nigerian space again. It's international. He's
Josh,
taking the case to an international
It is
Josh, what do you even want to hear from this? From
No,
our-
I want to have your own view because
my own view
a lot of
is
farmers say a lot
that
of
my
things
own
about
view
that. So I want to get your own view.
until he defined what he mean by rigging, I don't understand what he mean, because it has a lot of meaning.
Rigging has a lot of meaning.
It has some, that is not one. The meaning is not one. So let me get him from the point of context. Because you have connotative and denotative meaning or interpretation. So connotatively, it can mean another thing. Denotatively, it could mean something else. So why would I? But if I'm to say, Chimaroke is a leader that I respect so much. Peter Mbah is also another leader that I respect so much. So when two leaders are having issues, Peter Mbah is here to say anything. So why would I talk when he has not responded? So if he responds, somebody can now have the basis
of analysis.
He has been keeping quiet. So until he responds, so what do you want me to say? To say that that the election was rigged, or to say that Chimaroke is this or that, or that Peter Mbah is this or
But
that?
if Chimaroke said the election was rigged, it's very difficult for people.
I do not know what he mean by rigging, so I don't want to talk on that.
Okay, I think we were calling it a day at this point. Of course, we are on Nigeria Decides, looking at the issues pertaining to the state and, of course, the federal government, especially as related to politics and governance. Thank you so much for staying with us today as we say goodbye. See you same time tomorrow.
It comes as strict.
Enough is enough. We are not second-class citizens of this country.
Why does